Champions League, it's regular season Group A here on Game Day 2, and it's the game between Banvit and Le Mans. Well, you have to wonder if the fans that are showing up tonight in Banderma are thinking that they're going to get another incredible game like they had last week. Their team looked almost dead in the water during the first quarter. They ended up falling behind by 24 points in the first half, yet they came back to win. So that was against MHP Rees in Lewisburg. So in Group A, we have this game, then UKAM Murcia against Ventspils, Anvil against Nizhny Novgorod, and then MHP Rees in Lewisburg going up against Citygas Avellino. Those last two games will be played tomorrow. So UKAM Murcia also in action tonight against Ventspils from Latvia. But there's something special about Banvit, a team that routinely seems to kind of punch above its weight, and that incredible comeback last week saw them get that first win. And you see Le Mans, meanwhile, lost their first game. They played at Spain, or excuse me, at UKAM Murcia in southern Spain on the Mediterranean and lost 74-62. So they will be looking to bounce back. Le Mans, of course, qualified for this competition, winning the French League last season. As for Banvit, well, we all know about them, their famous history in the competition, making it to the final in the first edition of the Basketball Champions League. That was 2 seasons ago, and then last year they made it to the quarterfinals. And perhaps always will be remembered for that unforgettable season by Jordan Theodore, who was the MVP in that opening season. For Le Mans, Richard Hendricks, Antoine Eto, Valentin Bigot, Demetrius Conger, Terry Tarpe, Peter Corneli, Wilfried Yegeti. All these players had better come to play tonight, because Banvit served notice last week that they are awfully difficult to beat on their home court. Even if you get up by a big number, they're never, ever going to throw in the towel. They will come back and they will battle. And for Banvit, Alex Perez, boy, he played well last week in the fourth quarter. Marcus Thornton, Jim Ulasoy was a constant spark. We got Devin Oliver tonight, Erjan Osmani, Jordan Morgan, boy, he was a beast. Redvan Onchul, Metahan Akiel, he was terrific as well. I think Stefan Bercevic, who had Basketball Champions League experience, will be looking to come out and play better tonight than he did before. We see Michael Thompson there, another player with a lot of European experience in that Le Mans lineup. So, as well as Richard Hendricks, who used to play, amongst other clubs, he used to play at Maccabi Tel Aviv. So Le Mans, 12-point losers last week. And Bartoszewski there, the coach. And now we'll see the Banvit team get introduced. Cameron Clark, meanwhile, had the 16 points last week to lead Le Mans. For Banvit, Saul Perez and there's Thornton. They were both outstanding. Ulasoy, there he is. Not the biggest man on the court, but you could probably argue he's got the biggest heart. He really got after it last week against MHP Reason. Jordan Morgan was had a slow start, but he was able to bounce back. This, to me, was Akiel was a constant, a menace. His athleticism really caused a lot of problems, I thought, for MHP Reason, as well as his tenacity. And Ahmet Gurgen replacing Sasho Filipovsky. Here you see him. He actually coached Turkey at the FIBA Under-17 Basketball World Cup this year in Argentina, and had a nice team there. So he's clearly one of the bright play callers, the bright tacticians and coaches in Turkish basketball. Of course, basketball in Turkey has just been on the up ever since the famous Eurobasket back in 2001. And we have a good refereeing crew tonight. They're getting some high fives, some low fives. Alexander Glizic there from Serbia, among the best. He's in the middle. And of course we have to introduce the fans, because they come to these games to have a good time. I mean, this has to be one of the great crowds. The core supporters of Banvit really do help create a great atmosphere at their games, and you'll see how they bond with the players at the end of the game, win or lose. So the referees tonight, I mentioned Alexander Glizic, Alexei Davidov from Russia as well, and Steve Bittner from Germany. So just as a point of reference, last week, see, Jordan Morgan had 27 points. We'll talk more about him in a second. You got Conger, Tarpe, Yegeti, Michael Thompson, and Cameron Clark will be in that starting five for Coach Bartoszewski. And remember, the Basketball Champions League season is long, so just because you lost last week, you played 2 road games to start things off. He's looking to get a win tonight. So Perez, Thornton, Morgan, Bircevic in the starting five, and now Devin Oliver for Coach Ahmet Gurgen. Now, I talked about Morgan, Jordan Morgan, with the 27 points and the 8 rebounds, was kind of the signature player last week, but really the overall intensity of this team, much of it provided by the likes of Ulasoy in that second, third quarter. Perez came out and really lowered the boom, the Mexico national team point guard. He really did well. Akiel came out and had 8 points and 5 rebounds. So, and it was just a great display, and also Onchul had himself quite a game as well for this Banvit team. Tarpe had 9 points as well last week, and Bigot had 8 for Le Mans, so they will be looking for some more contributions, perhaps from the likes of Hendricks, who did have 8 rebounds, and Eto, who had 4 assists. So it's a very long season, and you always want to protect your home court, and that will be going through the minds of Gurgen right now as he talks to his team. And of course, Le Mans, Bartoszewski knows they do not want to suffer 2 losses at the start of the season. So it's a big ask for them since they're starting on the road. Well, folks, there's going to be a minute of silence in the honor and memory of the FIBA Secretary General and the IOC member Patrick Baumann. Just so you're aware, the Secretary General of FIBA since 2002, Patrick Baumann passed away at the age of 51 on Saturday in Buenos Aires, Argentina. With his passion and determination, Patrick Baumann was the leader and advocate of basketball worldwide. He was also instrumental in the creation of the Basketball Champions League with a vision to bring a high-level competition to clubs all across Europe. So as a sign of sorrow and solidarity to his family, we kindly ask you to observe this minute of silence. So that minute of silence for Patrick Baumann and a lot of people. He affected a lot of people's lives, but more than anything, he was not a person who went out seeking attention. He was a leading sports figure who worked. He worked hard, and he worked hard for basketball and sport in general. And he will be missed, but his legacy, obviously, is that he has really changed international sport and basketball forever. So again, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family at this most difficult time. And also all of his friends and colleagues, whether they're at FIBA or the Olympic family or all over really the sports world. Well, good evening, folks. We are in Bandirma, Turkey. This is the start of the Basketball Champions League game Day 2 between Banvit and Le Mans. Banvit winning last week against MHP Rees in Lewisburg, getting the opening tip here and attacking the basket to the left. And Jordan Morgan denied as he goes up, and Le Mans push it quickly. And Tarpe has it. Yegeti, beautiful bounce pass. Nope, it was knocked away by Oliver. And into the hands of Perez. And three-point attempt by Birchovic, not good. Oliver able to get the ball back and hand it off to Perez. Oliver misses again, and he didn't hit the rim, so the ball turns back over to Le Mans. I'll tell you, Banvit is a place where really, when players show up, they might not be the best known in the world, but by the time they leave, everybody knows them. So this is proving to be a great place. Don't forget Furkan Aldamish played here, now in the NBA. He was a big name in the youth ranks with Turkey, but boy, his career really took off by playing in the Basketball Champions League. Now it's down to these guys. And then with the offensive rebound and putback, the failure to get it to go, and it leads to a punishing alley-oop jam from Oliver. Well, talk about not taking advantage of your opportunities and getting punished. Yegeti now misses with the short jumper. So it was Cam Clark that missed at the other end before the jam. And now Perez gets it back. Thornton puts it up from deep. Morgan, nobody boxes him out, passes it back outside to Perez. And again, the ball rims out. Thompson. And again, the miss by Cam Clark. Look at the alley-oop jam. And boy, they didn't wait around, did they? They came right out firing. So Bičević called for the foul. So Oliver didn't play last week, but he's come out with a bang tonight. Thompson dribbles between his legs. Another long one off target for Le Mans. And Perez tries to make the pass, and they're appealing to the referees to say the ball was tapped out. Oh yeah, just understand why. Now, if another referee has not seen it, they would, if they had seen it, they would go up and consult with the other referee to say, are you sure? Because I think it was hit, but obviously it was not seen because it looked like that ball did go off of Le Mans. So an early break. Now the long jump shot and good from Conger. Well, there's nothing like seeing the ball go through the hoop if you're a jump shooter like Conger. That could be a sign of things to come tonight for the French team. Oliver has the ball knocked away. Tarpe on the break and lays it up and in. Morgan gets in the lane, misses. Good effort by Oliver to get it back, and Morgan benefits with the putback. Thompson back in front of the rim and out. And now the turnover, and Tarpe goes in and looked like he was going to try to dunk it. The ball maybe slipped out of his hands, but he was able to lay it up and in. Now the drive from Perez and puts it up. He's an aggressive player. And now the turnover, and Perez goes in and is fouled by Conger, I believe. Thompson played in the Basketball Champions League for Besiktas back in the 2016-17 season. So here he is now playing in France, and they're standing behind Perez, who misses his first attempt from the line. Tarpe has the 4 points so far to lead all scorers for Le Mans. Perez has played for Mexico's national team, played at the FIBA AmeriCup last year. And now a good play by Oliver. He reached in, stole it, and then lost the ball out of bounds. Oliver spent the last couple of seasons with Olympia in Petro Olympia. Also played in the Basketball Champions League with them in Slovenia. Conger misses. Now Perez with the rebound. Morgan hustles down the court. Morgan facing the basket, puts it up, and was short. Thompson from deep. And Oliver grabs the board, brings it across midcourt. He's going to go all the way. Lays it up and in with his left hand. Thompson drives in, passes it back, and the miss from Cameron Clark off target thus far. It's the second miss. Bercevich goes in and was hemmed in by tried to score, but got blocked by the backboard. And then Conger fouled by Perez. Well, it's a mixture of being blocked by the backboard and by Le Mans. Here's Seamus Hazer. Now, Hazer checks into the game, didn't play last week, but was really quite a player for Banvit last season. Came in and got a lot of minutes under Filipovsky. Conger misses from three-point range. Now Thornton. Here's Hazer. First man off the bench here for Banvit. And takes a little contact, stays with it. There's Morgan, gets the offensive rebound and put back. A good effort. Hazer went in and his quick jump was able to knock the ball over the rebound, over to Morgan, and he went up, put it up and in. So Valentin Bigot has come into the game. And Morgan misses the free throw. He had a slow start last week. Now the pass caught by Bigot. That was a dangerous pass. Bigot's going to inbound the ball. Eto also in the game. He's got the ball now. Guarded by Hazer. Makes the pass over to Tarpe, who drives in, and the tap is good from Richard Hendricks. And the drive and the basket is good by Morgan. As they're putting the pressure on full court. Bigot. And now Hazer reaches in, knocks it away. But it'll be Le Mans ball. 8 seconds on the shot clock. And Akiel comes into the game. We talked about how he was very impressive coming off the bench last week. He wears number 12. And he's guarding Corneli, who's also in the game now for Le Mans. There's the offensive rebound and put back by Hendricks. That's 2 in a row for him, and that has to worry Gergen there over on the Banvit bench. Thornton shakes and bakes, puts it up, misses. Oh, good job inside, and by Morgan. Gets fouled, trying to go back up with it. That's where he's doing most of his damage, on the offensive glass. It's almost a carbon copy at both ends. Morgan at one end and Hendricks at the other. Hendricks actually picks up the foul on that one. And Morgan gets both to go. So he will sit down, and Attar comes into the game. Had a brief appearance last week. Didn't play that much. And the drive, and the basket is good. I believe it's going to go to Bigot. Now Hazard, and he gets hammered as he goes up, so he earns a trip to the line. Well, relatively decent defense from Corneli, and they actually called the foul on Ater, or excuse me, on Eto. So Azer being rewarded for his aggressive play. Azer makes just 1 of 2, however. Corneli from the right. The back of the iron. Hendricks, another offensive rebound for him. He sets the pick and rolls, and this time he's pinned by Attar. Excuse me. Now Eto off the back of the iron. This was Hendricks. In fact, he just missed it. See the rebounding numbers for both teams. Thornton gets it off to Attar. It's good. He's 19 years of age, but you can see he's got an impressive physique out there. 2.11 meters in height. Now Thompson. Bounce pass to Hendricks. And Berchevich almost knocked it away. Thompson gets it and puts it up and in. Looks like Berchevich maybe tried to run before he had it. And you can see the constant noise provided. Onchel, who's checked in, puts it up and in. He's terrific with his drives to the basket. Ridvan Onchel. Played for Banvit last season. It was Thompson. Ball goes back, so Banvit would like to perhaps, they'd like to have the last possession here of the quarter. They're leading by 5. Much better start for them this week, trust me folks, than last week. So Thornton has it. Thompson on him. Now Thornton gets to the lane, puts up a jumper, and the follow by Attar. He had a chance. Bigot has it, but doesn't get the shot off in time. And he made it, but it was after the buzzer. So 1 quarter is in the books, and it's Banvit on top, 20-15 over Le Mans. Banvit already shooting, they've hit 8 of 9 from inside the arc. Le Mans 6 of 14. Le Mans 1 of 10 from three-point range. And if those start to fall, this will be a different game. But they have started ice cold from deep. That was the alley-oop right at the start of the game by Oliver. Then Conger came out and hit his first jumper. His first three-pointer. Tarpey was, he's got some ability, doesn't he? Tarpey. This is the problem, though. This could be where the game is won and lost, whether or not they can keep Morgan off the boards. Just wonder with this home court advantage with Banvit, they're extremely difficult to beat here in Bandirma. They get a real charge out of their loyal support. Thompson will have played here when he was with Besiktas. He knows what it's all about. Now Hendricks gets it down low, goes right at Attar, and Corneli knocks it out of bounds. Hazer. Bircevic dumps it down low to Attar. Oh boy, that was impressive stuff. The young man, the 19-year-old sensation, getting good position down low and going to work. And now another bump. And the foul called on Bircevic. He doesn't want to remonstrate too much. Come on, Stefan. Got to control those emotions. He's going to come out. And that means Akiel comes back in. Alley-oop, oh, and Corneli went up and missed it. That would have been on the highlight reel. But instead, it'll be easily forgotten. Look at this. Right idea from Hendricks. He just didn't quite catch it cleanly before he flushed it. Michael Thompson pulls up and drills the jumper about 6 inches behind the charity stripe. Onshul. And oh, nice dump to Hazer. And you have to say with Banvit, the point needs to be made. This is a club where Turkish players are getting minutes. And it's impressive to see the likes of Onshul and Hazer, Akiel out here now. Look at this. Corneli, the dump. And Akiel had his hands up. Now Onshul on the run, and that's where he's good. Attar tries to make the call for the referee, but they are not going to call the unsportsmanlike. But Onshul wants to get out and run as quickly as possible. Come on. Bigo, you got to free the fast break, my friend. Let him run. I think he would have been flirting with an unsportsmanlike. So the interesting development tonight is we expected Hazer to play, but Attar's getting good minutes, and they've even run a play for him. They got him down low for that early basket. Just so many good young talents, bright young talents in Turkey. Now, they may have just called an unsportsmanlike, and I think they have. So they've called the unsportsmanlike because he didn't play the ball, and he ran right into him. And more, this is being policed. Onshul makes the first one. It's being policed because, let's face it, you don't want to go to a basketball game and see somebody just get fouled for the sake of being fouled at midcourt to stop a fast break. You want to see the beautiful game. And the beautiful game is the transition game. Anyway, that's my opinion. Onshul pulls up and mid-range jumper. Now the pass back to Onshul, who drives in and ended up being a nice trip down the floor for Banvit. And with that, Le Mans have to call timeout. Extra effort from Oliver. Full marks. That's not the first time we've seen Oliver sticking with it. So 2 free throws from Onshul, and then the basket by Onshul after the hustle. The hustle play by Oliver. Eleven of 23 inside the arc for Banvit, 7 of 18 for Le Mans, and his three-point numbers have not changed since the end of the first quarter. Well, Coach Bartoszewski has his work cut out tonight. As Onshul putting the pressure on Michael Thompson. Now it's Hazer out there on Ato. And in the corner, and the foul called on Akel. So he fouled Cam Clark. Thompson inside. Now Cameron Clark puts it up mid-range. Offensive rebound. Into the corner. Air ball. And Akel with the rebound. So Tarpe with the air ball. Now Onshul. And the drive and the foul. No foul called. Looks like Oliver may have been hit. Now quickly Le Mans the other way. And Hazer called for the foul. Tell you, Attar 19, Hazer 19, and both getting good minutes here in the second quarter. Ato to the corner, and Tarpe misses. Attar with the rebound. Onshul. Well, he likes to go to the basket, doesn't he? See if Attar sets a pick and rolls to the basket. No, they're going to try to get it to Akel, who's posting up. And he had decent position, but he couldn't score against Cameron Clark. Tarpe over to Clark. And finally, Cameron Clark gets one to drop. He's now 1 of 5 from the floor. Hazer, puts it up from deep. It was too long. It's the type of shot that might get him pulled out of the game from Gergen. Clark drives in, misses. Here's Akel quickly to Onshul. He's going to be tough to get, tough to stop here. Nope, good job by Clark getting back on defense. Now running is Michael Thompson. And Akel called for the foul. So good minutes from Attar. He goes out. That's Akel's second foul. Morgan now checks back into the game with Bircevic. Oliver remains in the game. Hazer remains in the game, and Perez comes back in. And he's telling right now Onchel, he's like, you want to break, but if you don't have a great shot and you're not going to make the pass, just pull it back out. I don't know about you, but I like these refereeing uniforms. Might have to get me one of those. Have to wear it when the kids start getting out of hand. 28-21, Banvit on top. Perez. Puts it up from behind the stripe. And great job, Berchevich almost came up with it. Morgan still gets it back, and Le Mans dodged the bullet. Tarpe came out with it. And a technical foul has been called on Banvit. Well, Berchevich should sit down for the rest of the half. We already talked about him not keeping control of his emotions, and he's gone out, said something to the referee, and earned a trip to the bench. He's earned a technical. So the free throw makes it a 6-point game. Eight points for Morgan, 7 points for Thompson. Those are the two leading scorers in this game. Hazer gets a well-deserved breather. He checks out. Thornton comes back into the game. Osmani has come in for Berchevich. Thompson down to Clark. Into the corner to Tarpe. And Yegite not able to hold on to the ball. Now Perez, entry pass, nice. Osmani got it over to Morgan, who missed from about a meter out. Now Thompson back over to Conger. Conger shakes and bakes, puts it up and in. Back to a 4-point game. And Ahmed Gergen has seen enough. He's going to call his players over and remind them, got to play some defense. Need a little bit more composure on offense. Nice comeback by Le Mans. Morgan with 8 points, Onchel with 6, and Attar with 4 for Banvit. And for Le Mans, as we mentioned, Thompson has 7 points. That's a team high. Conger now with 5 points. Well, what better way to entertain the kids than take them to a basketball Champions League game? I'll tell you, folks, it's really quite amazing that as we enter this third season of the Basketball Champions League, it's now already established as the second pan-European club competition based on the number of countries participating and the previous league positions of those participating teams. And you can see the level of play has gotten better and better since the start of this competition. So Osmani comes out having committed the foul. And Clark has struggled here at the start of the game. He's just 1 of 6 from the floor, and now he's missed his free throw. He makes 1 of 2. Well, Le Mans haven't really played that well, but they're only down by 3 points. So that has to be troubling over on the Banvit bench. Hazard comes back into the game. He's going to inbound the ball. So Perez brings it up the floor. Banvit just 3 of 10. In fact, both teams just 3 of 10 in this quarter. Thornton looked like he was going to pass, decided to shoot it, and he makes it. Constant cheers, constant noise here by this Banderma crowd. Tarpe, nice friendly roll. It only happens to the good shooters. Now the drive, and Morgan is fouled. Yegete picks up the personal. Yep. Former Florida big Yegete trying to defend Morgan, who played at Michigan. Morgan misses the first one. Talking about NCAA basketball. He makes the second. Michael Thompson calls the play. Now he's going to pull up from deep, and he's not going to make it. Oliver with the rebound. Gets right into transition, hands it off to Hazer, and he missed the layup. Now the pass into Yegete, and he scores and gets it back to a 2-point deficit. First 2 for Yegete. Perez drives, passes it back outside. Oliver. And Perez kept the ball alive, put the pressure on Thompson. Morgan faces up and hits the J. Boy, he just knows how to put the ball in the basket, doesn't he? 9 points now from Morgan. Hazer put the pressure on Conger and forces the turnover. Bartoszewski. After that, had to go sit down. Now an offensive foul called on Oliver. Bondier. And excellent effort on the boards by Perez. Knocks it over to Oliver. Over to Hazer from the left. Missed everything. (33-29). Banvit on top. And Hazer called for the foul. So that's his second. I tell you, Le Mans were struggling in this first half, but they've consolidated things. Things have calmed down, and Gergen is trying to find the right mix of players here to get him to halftime. With that lead, he's brought Onschel back into the game. Thompson has been the man, but he misses his first free throw of the contest. Michael Thompson makes one of two. So Jan Ulusoy checks into the game. And he was so good last year, or last week rather. It's almost surprising we haven't seen him yet. And I guess the return of Hazer is kind of eaten into his minutes. Morgan catches it low, and Yegete reached in and committed the foul as he turned. Well, Morgan trying to get to 10 points. He's already, he's got 11 points. He's trying to get to 12 points, already the game's leading scorer. And he also has 5 rebounds. But he does struggle at the charity stripe. He has had some misses tonight. Second one is good. So he will take a seat, and Attar will come in to spell him. So Morgan, 4 of 7 from the line, has 12 points. Now the pass intercepted by Thornton. And he went in, and again, you have to wonder maybe if Banvit should just pull it out. I guess he knew that Oliver was trailing. The timeout has been called on the floor with 1:13 remaining here in this first half. Banvit up by 4. Bartucek called the timeout. So the field goal percentage and the free throw percentages for both teams. A lot more trips to the line for Banvit, but they've missed 5 of those 13 attempts. And Banvit also winning the bout on the boards right now. Nice atmosphere in Banvit, folks, where the fans have once again come out to support Banvit, and Le Mans getting a taste of it for the first time. 4-point lead for the team in white. Oh, nice dump to Gameday, who takes the hit by Attar and goes to the line. Yeah, he just slid in there too late, didn't he? Honger takes a seat, and Tarpe comes back into the game. So Gameday misses the first. They're 5 of 8 at the line as a team. He misses both. Now 5 of 9. Ulusoy. So foul called on Thompson. So timeout called on the floor here in the final minute of the first half. Every possession vital. This is a game that could go down to the wire. Assist numbers, just 3 for Le Mans.
Bak buradan böyle geleceksin. Make the big loop. Bak buradan geleceksin. Devin bak buraya bak. Sanki buradan bak şuraya kadar geleceksin. Aynı anda Tortun buraya bir tane back pick. Marcus, when as soon as he clears back pick. Şuraya bir tane şey. Buraya atacağız. Karşı buraya. And then şut varsa var. Yok for you. Bak timing anladınız bak. Real timing bak. Buraya geldi. Buraya geldiği anda back pick buraya geldi. Buraya geçtikten sonra eğer erken backpick olursa burası switch yapar. Belki don't make the backpick early, okay? Şu köşede bak, köşede. Şu arkaya atacaksınız bak. Cem buraya atacaksın. Olmazsa buraya geldi. Olmazsa burası olmazsa belki will save it. Ama and then he'll give it to you with
Well, again, Morgan leading the scoring with 12 points, but he's not in the game. Oliver is, however. He's got 4 points. Unchel's back in the game. He's got 6, and Ulusoy waiting to open his account. He's going to inbound it. Goes over to Thornton, wide open look, and Attar back in almost. Got a shot attempt there. He tapped it. And Michael Thompson pushes off a little bit on Ulusoy. Tarpe. Entry to, oh, nice play. Hendricks lays it up off the glass and in. Le Mans pulled that a little bit closer. So these will be the final seconds of the first half. Unchel passes up to 3, drives and banks it in. Much better driving to the basket, Unchel. And that is how the first half finishes. Banvit, well, they had a much bigger lead, but they nevertheless go to halftime winning 36-32 over Le Mans. So Banvit, 14 of 34 inside the arc. Le Mans, 12 of 25. Banvit have yet to hit a three. Le Mans just 1 of 14, and both teams having their struggles at the free throw line. And Banvit are doing a good job on the boards, although Le Mans do have 9 offensive rebounds. And the leading scorers, rebounders, and assists men. See, Oliver is getting it done in a whole myriad of ways, as is Hendricks. And from a defensive standpoint, Tarpe has the 2 steals for Le Mans. So Onshore with that last basket now has 8 points. Morgan's 12 is a game high. Well, folks, we're at halftime, and here's some of the highlights. We started off with that alley-oop to Oliver. Conger came out, hit the jumper. And Tarpe came up with this steal. This is one of the problems facing Le Mans is the activity down low. And of course, Tarpe, we mentioned, had the 2 steals. Oliver's been pretty solid throughout the game. And Morgan, again, on the boards has been a real beast. Hendricks has been able to sneak in there, get a few offensive rebounds and putbacks. And that was Corneli's putback. Attar, one of the bright spots, really is the play of the young players for this Banvit team. Attar again. And then Thompson. And some good things we're seeing from Hazir and also Onshul. So at halftime, it's 36-32. Banvit on top. We'll be right back for the start of the second. 36-32, Banvit on top of Le Mans here at halftime in Bandirma on game day 2 in the Basketball Champions League. And I have to say I've been impressed by Le Mans hanging in there because they were reeling a little bit. They were trailing by 11 points. They battled back, but Banvit have just managed to keep their noses in front. So, it looks like right now 2 very evenly matched teams going at it, and anything could happen over this final couple of quarters. Of course, Morgan we knew would be important, Jordan Morgan for Banvit. But also we knew that Richard Hendricks, the veteran, would be important for Le Mans, doing exactly what he's done. 6 points, 6 rebounds. Those points coming off 3 offensive rebounds. Morgan is leading the way with 12 points and 5 rebounds. So remember, this Le Mans team lost last week at UCAM Murcia and looking to bounce back. And Banvit, meanwhile, had trailed by 24 points at home in their opener to MHP Rees in Lewisburg from Germany, and came back and won that game. So 20 more minutes between this one. Will Banvit go to 2-0, or will they drop to 1-1? Will Le Mans fall to 0-2, or will they improve to 1-1? Well, folks, I think it's worth mentioning once again, if you weren't here for the start of the game, there was a minute of silence for Patrick Baumann, the FIBA Secretary General, who sadly passed away at the age of 51 in Argentina. Our thoughts with his family and friends. Remember, Patrick Baumann was the leader and advocate of basketball worldwide, and he was also instrumental in the creation of the Basketball Champions League, with a vision to bring a high-level competition to clubs all across Europe. So that's what we're seeing tonight. These 2 teams trading blows here in Bandirma. Well, Thornton has a hard time getting the ball in bounds, and Tarpe almost reached up and got himself another steal. Interesting players. Big, long, Tarpe, 24 years of age. Maybe he'll get a call from Coach Collet to play for the French national team eventually. No. Denied down low. Ball goes outside to Conger. Conger turns. Back outside to Michael Thompson. Interesting that Tarpe had no steals last week against Murcia, but he's come out and got a couple tonight and almost had a third. Pass batted away into the hands of Morgan. Here's Oliver on the break, goes in, beautiful finish, kind of shielded himself with a defender and put it up with his left hand. The former Dayton Flyer flies in for the layup. So back to a 6-point lead. Arguably their most impressive player tonight has been Oliver, his all-around play. Now the reach in, good play by Perez, and again, and it goes in! The wham bam, thank you ma'am, from Jordan Morgan. And Banvit starting stronger here in the second half. 2 fast break buckets. Well, Cameron Clark just cannot get on track tonight. Misses another one. Thornton dumps it off, and Bircevic lays it up and in. 3 layups for Banvit. And you have to say, that must be the message coming from the bench. Let's get it inside, folks. Coach Gergen. And now the ball knocked out of bounds from Conger. So a worrying start here to the second half. Look at the hustle from Perez. Give the man some credit. And then the flush from Morgan. But it all started with the hustle from Perez diving on the floor to knock the ball away. Now Thornton. Oliver left open. Good! The three-pointer. Their biggest lead of the game. Banvit have come out swinging in the start of the third quarter. They have stretched their lead to 13 points. They have gone on a 9-0 run. Oliver putting an exclamation mark on the run with the three-pointer. Bartoszewski furious over there on the bench.
One down, here. Move around, here. Okay, we do curl. After we do four side, speed.
32 points in the paint for Banvit, and of course, 6 of those coming here in the second half. Boy, Oliver's been terrific, hasn't he? I mean, he has been all over the place tonight. If you look at his numbers, Morgan was leading at halftime with 12 points. And Oliver's come out and been very explosive. I'm not sure he's been credited with as many points as he should have at this stage. Because he had a layup, and he also had, yep, my stats haven't updated, that's why. Bircevic. And again, Morgan putting the pressure on Hendricks. Hendricks not able to reel it in. Look at the crowd. Look at the core fans from Banvit. There's a party going on. It's at the basketball game. Morgan takes the inbounds, hands it off to Perez. Now Thornton for 3. Well, that would have been a dagger, an early third quarter dagger if he'd made that one. As it is, Michael Thompson now. Conger floats in. Oh, great play from Conger to get the ball, the rebound, and then just to put it up and in. Morgan again, well, he's tough to handle down low, and if he's going to step outside and hit some jump shots, it's not going to be a pretty picture for Le Mans. Tarpe pulls up, short. Cameron Clark flies in, takes the contact, and the tap is good from Hendricks. That's pretty much what he does. Offensive rebounds and putbacks. He's the master. Morgan catches it down low, goes up with the left hand, and he is putting up a big number tonight, folks. Again. He's on his way. It appears to be another 20-point night tonight. Conger hands it off to Tarpe. Beautiful. Nice pass, nice cut down the lane. Alex Perez feels his way in, back outside to Morgan, wide open. Good! Another one! Goodness gracious! Morgan is at it again. He's got 20 points. Did somebody say all-star 5 possibilities? And Perez drives, or Perez called for the foul. There's Michael Thompson and the reach. Ato comes out of the game. Excuse me, Ato comes into the game. Tarpego's out. Michael Thompson, boy, good job getting that pass to where it needed to go, but then Gameday denied as he drives in. And the drive and the foul, Berchevich. We're seeing the good Berchevich here in the third quarter. Here's Gameday, the 19-year-old Atar, a tower of power, and this is Berchevich doing a good job of catching it, scoring, taking the contact, and going to the line. Berchevich misses, but there's Atar again! The putback! Oh boy, that is a huge plus for Banvit and a worrying sign for Le Mans. They have not started this second half with the right amount of intensity. They are being taken to school here by Banvit. Clark, mid-ranger. Well, he's had his struggles tonight. They could use him getting hot. Long way to go, folks. Quarter and a half of basketball. And another basket inside. This is by Thornton. I'll tell you what, folks, there's some must-read stuff on the Basketball Champions League website. You need to go to www.championsleague.basketball or go to the app. And there's Clark denied down low. Here is Berchevich again. Decides to take it all the way, and he draws the foul. And if you're over there on the Le Mans bench, I mean, you have to be scratching your head. So the foul puts Berchevich on the charity stripe, and Thornton goes out. Now, one of the top items on the Basketball Champions League website, you have to go and watch it. It's the power rankings. And if you go to this and check it out, you'll see where each team is listed in the power rankings. And coming into this week, Umanarai Venezia have been put up at the top of the power rankings. And Iberstar Tenerife have come in second. Of course, they were the champions in this competition 2 years ago. Hapoel Jerusalem came in at third. And the drive, the bump. Onjai fouls Thompson. Thompson makes the first one. Thompson makes another one, so back to a 17-point deficit. offensive foul has been called. So if you're wondering where these two teams were in the power rankings, Le Mans, the French champs, came in at number 17. And Banvit came in a lowly 26. Now that could change after this week. But you know, they also take into account domestic standings, and Banvit have had their struggles. There's Thompson again, drills the three-pointer, trying to carry his team back into it. Back to 14 points now. 13 minutes, just under 13 minutes remaining in the game. Thompson guarding Hazard, who drives in and puts it up and earns a trip to the line. So Thompson just has to you know, because of his size, you know, opponents will try to get mismatches and post him up. That was what happened there. Ooh, Hazer misses everything. Second one is good. Here's Thompson again. Over to Ato. Thompson takes the bump. Back to Ato again. Ato needs one of those to fall. Now Morgan with a turnover again. Back to Conger, who goes down, has it knocked out of his hands. Ruud van Onschel hands it off to Morgan. Another two for him. Then he gives us the gun show. Look at that. Entry pass, ball knocked away by Oliver. Thornton on the break. And takes it all the way and draws the foul. 1:35 remaining. Clark has had a game to forget really tonight. I don't think he made much contact, if any at all there, but I think the referee saw the motion coming down and they've given him his first foul. Clark just 2 of 10 from the floor tonight, 4 rebounds. And Thornton, meanwhile, now has 5 points. That's his first free throw attempt. He's had his struggles from the floor as well. 2 of 8. Vigo back in the game. Here's Clark. And now Cornelli called for the foul coming over the back. What do you think they were talking about there? Can you recommend a good restaurant after the game tonight? Yeah, I would suggest going down to the Bosphorus, hang a left. And it'll be a nice place there on the water. So the foul called. And Oliver goes to the line and makes the first one. Misses the second. Michael Thompson again from deep. Seems to be a lack of firepower from outside for Le Mans. Either they just don't have it or they just can't make any shots tonight. Thompson's hit some deep ones, but overall they're just 2 of 19 from three-point range. It has been a three-point shooting horror show tonight for the team from France. Thompson gets the ball, releases it too late. Corneli not able to get it off in time to beat the clock. Vircevic comes back into the game. Remember, Le Mans beat Monaco Basket in the finals last year in France. Monaco Basket made it to the Final Four twice in the Basketball Champions League, the first 2 editions. Made to the final last year and lost to Ike. And they were the team that I think a lot of people thought would go ahead and win it. But of course, that incredible Final Four saw Ike win the title. Home court advantage means a lot. And nice swat inside by Morgan. Morgan 22 points, 6 rebounds, a steal, a block. I mean, that is a serious, good defensive play there. Took the contact, still went up and blocked it. Good play by Bigot. Back to an 18-point deficit. Final seconds ticking off the clock. Ruud van Onschel drives in and scores with the left-handed layup. I'll tell you what, he is tough going to the basket. He knew exactly how much time he had. So 20-point lead. 67-47. Banvit on top, 10 minutes remaining. Well, there you have it. Forget the three-point shooting for both teams. It's not happening, but Banvit, 25 of 47 now, 53% inside the arc, 45% for Le Mans, and the Banvit free throw shooting getting better. A lot more opportunities than Le Mans, but Banvit came out, got layups their first 3 possessions here in the third quarter. Morgan, well, he was already chucking along nicely in third gear, and then he shifted into fourth gear. And now he's got a game-high 22 points. Here's again Morgan on that dunk. Okay, 10 minutes for Le Mans to pull the rabbit out of the hat and come back. They need some magic here, don't they? Eto'o for 3. Maybe they've saved it all for the fourth quarter. Well, that's a good sign. It's as quiet as it's been in Bandirma tonight after that 3. It does happen. The team can't make a three-pointer for 3 quarters, and then it comes out and catches fire in the 4th. Maybe that'll happen for Le Mans. Thornton. Now, Hazer. Well, he gets it right back for Banvit. Now the steal, and it's Onshul where he does his best work on the break. Ato, nice pass to the cutter. Oh, and Bigot with a little reverse. Another foul. Point onside goes out of the game, and Oliver comes back in. So 8.5 minutes remaining now, and Le Mans, despite coming out and getting that early 3 from Ato, still down by 20. Bircevic for 3, and Hazer with the rebound, hits the cutter, and Corneli goes up for the block, and the foul. Bircevic goes down. Well, you know, I don't think Corneli needs to apologize for anybody on that one. His team's getting beat by 20 points. He goes up and tries to block the shot. You can't be dunked on when you're losing by 20 points. Bircevic has been much better in the second half. He was struggling to control his emotions in the first half. Looks like he's got a black eye, a shiner in the left eye. Makes both. Eight points for him now. And he's also 4 or 5 at the stripe. Ato, and Oliver goes down hard. Oh, he was undercut by his own man there, Bircevic. Corneli goes out of the game. Hendricks comes back in. Ato hands it off to the GOAT. And Morgan. Here he is again, look at this. Just make sure he gets the ball up so he can get a trip to the line. So Oliver called for the foul. Goat misses the first. When it's not going well, folks, it's not going well. And really, when you think about it, this would have been a nice way to celebrate the birthday of Yegete today for Le Mans, but I don't think they'll be celebrating anything. Drive, and the basket's good from Seamus Hazer. So Yegete has 6 rebounds to go with his 2 points on his 27th birthday. Bigot rather. And Another foul has been called. We go for three. Too long. Just continues the trend for this game. They have struggled from deep. 3 of 22 for Le Mans. Nice pass. Oh, they'll take that. Hendricks. 10 points, 8 rebounds. Not far off a double-double for him, but his team is down 21 points. Those are the shooting numbers from the floor and the line. So the rebounding numbers. So Jordan Morgan's numbers tonight: 22 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. He's at plus 22 on the efficiency-ometer. Ato misses another 3. Alex Perez drives in and had a good look at a layup. Now sloppy ball handling by Bigot and another unsportsmanlike foul. For the second time, Bigot needs to just let him go, or at least go down and play defense. They've got to free the fast break. Hauser just took it away from him. Last man back. 2 free throws coming, and frustrating night for Le Mans here in Bandirma. He has to leave the court because this is second unsportsmanlike. The harsh reality, he's committed 2 fouls. Both of them have been unsportsmanlike, which means he has to exit. How good can this young man be? Well, I think he's got a very bright future, just 19 years of age. I'll tell you, they've had some good ones come out of Turkey. Furkan Aldemir of late, Cedi Osman. You know, he's got some great examples to follow. The possibilities are there for all these players. Alex Perez behind the back pass. Out there, wasn't able to control it. Gameday hands it back to Ato, gets it back. Now he passes, and good job inside by Hendricks. I tell you, he just does all his damage right where you saw him score that basket. He is right around the basket every time. 12 points, 8 rebounds for Hendricks. Oliver fouled as he goes up. Foul called on Ato. Thought he was going to get a friendly bounce, but it didn't bounce his way. So instead of a potential 3-point play, he's now got a potential 1-point play. And guess what, folks? I'd like to apologize. I said Furkan Aldemir instead of Furkan Korkmaz tonight. I meant Furkan Korkmaz. Mixing up my Turkish players. And three-pointer is good. Yeah, Furkan Korkmaz played here for Banvit in the debut season. He joined midway through the season and really took off. Had a great season and helped him make it all the way to the final. And then, of course, the rest is history. He went to the NBA last season, and he's played very well for Turkey's national team. And the foul down low. And the player I was confusing him with, Furkan Aldemir, is a big for Turkey. He also has played in the NBA with Philadelphia. But two very different players indeed. So timeout. And I think Le Mans just trying to get the feel-good factor back. And they'd like to cut into this deficit if possible.
You want to come back under the 20, okay? And you know, friends, go to play, changer un peu outside, and three, okay? And execute the play, stay in the play, okay? Move the move, and defense, get back. Okay, it's long, 5 minutes. On lâche pas, let's go, hey.
Pick the picker, okay? Just end of the floor. Sen topu alacaksın. Burada içeri bakacaksın. Şurada topu alıp içeri bakacaksın. Eğer bu beni yoksa versin. Olmazsa sen buraya yüksel.
I wonder how many Furkans are in that crowd. Speaking of Furkans. And you can understand the approach there on the bench. I mean, they'd like to cut into this deficit over the final 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Not just to get the feel-good factor back, but you never know. Take 10 points off that deficit, because goal differential could come into play by the end of the season as teams try to get into that next spot. Jordan Morgan, it's probably the one chink in his armor is his free throw shooting. He's got 23 points, 7 rebounds now. He's 5 of 9 at the free throw line tonight. And nice drive and basket, potential 3-point play here for Konger. And this 3-point play goes by the wayside. And Morgan misses with that jumper, but Bircevic there for the putback continues to impress here in the second half. So less than 4 minutes remaining, and Banvit still up, still with a stranglehold on the contest, 84-59. And now Oliver called for the foul on Conger. Conger attempts that long jump shot. So that'll be 3 free throws from Conger. Well, I suppose what's one of the things that's interesting to me is that you had Ulusoy last week who came off the bench for Banvit and was instrumental in their comeback win against MHP Reese in Lewisburg, as well as Akio. He played a lot of minutes last week. There you see Akio on the left beside Oliver, tapping him on the shoulder. And those two players have not been as influential tonight, nor have they really had as much of an opportunity. But at the end of the day, you know, you have to admire how Banvit have taken care of business tonight. They've come out with Oliver played well, Seamus Hazer has played well, this young man, Attar, has played well, Ruben Onjai has played well. Here's Hazer. Nice play, gets it inside to Attar. And now 86-62. Conger drives, loses it, and a foul call. So 2 shots. This is the first one. You wonder about Morgan. Probably not an MVP of the week performance tonight, although he's been pretty solid. Plus 23, never know. 23 points, 8 rebounds. Last week it was Norris Cole from Avellino, got the MVP. That double overtime win for them. Now Hazer has it knocked away. Doesn't give up on it, but it goes out of bounds. So good pressure there by Le Mans to force the turnover. And the 19-year-old, he has his highs and his lows. He's still learning. And Conger took the worst of that one. Looked like he caught Hazer's head. Now Thornton's checking into the game. And Perez checks out. The only thing that, you know what, Perez kind of walks off the floor. The only thing that matters is whether or not his coach likes the job that he's done tonight. And it looked like he was satisfied with Perez. Done a good job running the team tonight. Vircevic drives in. Boy, this last few minutes is taking an eternity to play. A lot of fouls, a lot of trips to the free throw line. Here's again. So, talking about Perez going to the bench, he's got 3 points, but he does have 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and a couple of steals. So, it's not just about scoring points. He's been able to contribute in other ways tonight. And Vircevic makes the free throws. Now Osmani's going to come back into the game, number 6. And Vircevic goes out. And Sedat as well is coming into the game. Sedat Ali Karagule. His first action. He's just 19 years of age as well, Sedat Karagule. And Richard Hendricks, another offensive rebound and putback. He must lead the league in that stat. Putback points. And Attar continues to impress. He's got 10 points now and 5 rebounds. And now Thornton with the steal. Goes in for the two-handed jam. Boy, it's been a dismal performance by Le Mans in the second half. They were right there. They just did not look like they came out ready to play in the second half, whereas Banvit were the polar opposite. They were breathing fire when they returned to the court. The drive and the foul called. And, you know, in that sense, you know, I mean, I think everybody's got to go back and look at themselves in the mirror, whether it's the coach, the players, the captain. They came out in the third quarter. Basically, Banvit hit him in the mouth 3 times with those transition buckets, and just really set the tone for a dominating second half. Thornton still on the ground. Well, I think if there's one thing that we've learned from Banvit in these first 2 weeks is they may play well, they may not play well, but one thing you know they're going to do, they're going to come out and fight, and they're going to, you know, they are not going to shy away from the challenge. And hence, tonight, they've just been far better for a longer stretch of the game than they were last week. And with Le Mans, you really have to worry. They've been flat in the second half. Very flat. You're not going to win the Basketball Champions League if you don't come out and play with fire. Yes. 45-41 Banvit in the rebounding. You know, and I make that comment about the rebounding, or about the fight, but there you do see that Le Mans have actually out-rebounded Banvit in this game. But it just seems like the intensity, overall intensity, hasn't quite been there for Le Mans tonight. Well, 2 games into the Basketball Champions League season, and Morgan has certainly established themselves as one of the better front court players. Averaging around 25 points in the competition. Thornton gets inside, draws another foul. Well, looking ahead for these 2 teams, for Le Mans, they next week, as Thornton makes the first free throw, will be at home against MHP Rees in Lewisburg. Here's Corneli. Corneli, after that foul, has fouled out of the game, so he's gone. So they've lost 2 players. Bigot has had to leave the game after picking up 2 unsportsmanlike fouls. And Banvit next week will play at Ventspils. And it could be a tricky game for Banvit. They might want to guard against overconfidence going into that game, because Ventspils can come out and beat a team. They beat the defending champions Tenerife last year, Iberostar Tenerife, twice. So it might look like on the face of it that Banvit can go to 3-0 next week, which they can, but they better be ready to play.
So Banvit about to go to 2-0, and Le Mans dropping to 0-2. And you would think that Banvit and I would say UCAM Murcia would be two teams with a great shot to finish in that top 4. And don't forget, Anwil's had a great start, as well as Citigas Avellino. Those two teams will be going for wins tonight, or going for wins in the game this game day. UCAM Murcia will be going up against Ventspils tonight rather. And also we've got Anwil will be hosting Nizhny Novgorod.
And that's it, folks. 96-67. Banvit pull away for a convincing win in the second half against Le Mans.
Ben Ali Yönetçi, bu maçın anlatımında sizlerle birlikte oldum. Emeği geçen tüm arkadaşlarım adına mutlu akşamlar diliyorum. Hoşça kalın.
Well, you see Toga Getchim didn't even play tonight. And that's another weapon that this Banvit team has. I think it really speaks about the depth that this team has. This is a Banvit team that doesn't just have 5 or 6 players. I mean, they probably go 10 deep. And this is what we were talking about, the bonding session between Banvit and their fans. Remember, frickin' Korkmaz used to do this, as did Gasper Vidmar. And they're jumping for joy in the stands. And now it's Turkish delight for this group of players. They're going to go back and have a nice meal. Wouldn't you like to be there with them for that? I love Turkish food. Okay, Banvit. Superior numbers. 10 more makes inside the arc. A lot more makes. 9 more makes at the free throw line. I mean, that's the difference in the game. And a lot of those were makes close to the basket in the paint. 22 assists for Banvit. 12 steals. Yeah, so points in the paint tonight. Banvit had 58-36 for Le Mans. And they kind of made a concerted effort to get the ball inside in that third quarter, and it really showed. Morgan finished again with 23 points. Hendricks, well, points and rebounds. That's his game right there. Get the offensive rebound and score on the putback. He led his team in steals, and putbacks. Thornton with the 3 steals. And Seamus Hauser didn't play last week, but did very well. And look at Berchevich. Again, struggled in the first half tonight, keeping the lid on his emotions, and came out and finished as his team's third leading scorer tonight. So here we are in Group A. Le Mans has dropped to 0-2, but they get that participation point. So they're in 5th, and Banvit up at the top at 2-0. They are now in first place. Of course, all the other teams will play games in those standings. That standing will change after game day 2.
Well, Oliver came back and played tonight, as did Hazer, and both made a big impact. Quite possibly, Oliver had the biggest impact of all. Morgan, I suppose when they lowered the boom in that third quarter, he really took over. Here it is again. But Oliver tonight, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. He was tough. See that Morgan in the second half was pretty tough to control. That was one of the few easy baskets for Le Mans tonight. And then Morgan, once he got his confidence inside, he even stepped out. Gameday didn't really make that much of an impact on his birthday. Thornton got it going in the second half. He finished with 10 points, 8 assists, plus 19 efficiency. Also had the 3 steals. So he very quietly, but I think he did most of his damage once the game was pretty much in hand. And again, Seamus Hazer tonight. 14 points, 3 rebounds, a steal, and a block. And he played some very, very good defense. And there's Thornton with that steal and the dunk. Interestingly, from the Turkish players' standpoint tonight, Onçal had 12, Hazer 14, so that's 26. Akil didn't score. Osmani didn't score, but Attar had 10, so 36 of their 96 points from their Turkish contingent. So that's it, folks. Banvit win it 96-67 over Le Mans.
Onlar da 3 tane atmışlar.
Evet.
Oradaki bak 13 sayı yani 13 tane fazla atmışlar.
Panonun önünde yapabiliyor muyuz Engin abi? İlker abi. Tamam.
Oraya mı tek?
Aynen.